So with the interview today, we have Kathy Byrnes on, again, repeat guest. I always love having our repeat guests on because the reality is we have some really good attractors in our organization, and I like to get them back on. So without further ado, Kathy, how you doing today?
Great. Love going to
Good.
Cabo. Very excited about that.
Yeah. You
So
are,
I just
go ahead.
I just did something. I decided to burn my ships and make this
Okay.
last transaction that I closed on my solo deal. I'm gonna just 100%.
So you're saying you're retiring from selling real estate? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes. As,
Wow,
as
congratulations.
as far as I mean, I still want outgoing and incoming referrals, but those incoming referrals I'm going to give on my front line. I do have a $4 million one coming up, so I'll probably take that one. But but for the most part, I want total freedom to do this because I'm older than most everybody on here, and I really want to just have fun like we just had in Cabo. I like teaching. I like giving back. That's what I want to do. Drive my car.
That's that's amazing. So let's start there. So what got you to that point? 'Cause I would say, at least based on the study that I did for agent attraction, most people like their goal is to retire from selling real estate within the next 3 to 5 years. And they say their primary solution to that is going to be revenue share. So I think when everyone hears that, they're like, oh, wow, I would love for that to be me sooner than later. So what was it that got you to today where you're saying, hey, I'm essentially retiring from real estate aside from the $4 million deal that's coming up? I would take a $4 million listing tomorrow if one presented itself. So I get that. But what got you there? Was it just like, hey, enough's enough, or was it a financial goal you were looking to hit? Talk about that a little bit.
Well, I've been with eXp now 5.5 years, and I've been frustrated every year that production got in my way. I, Obviously, I could have still done it, but it felt like it was always in my way. And I said, I just want to focus in on that. I felt distracted with like even how to do it. I was fortunate to have a guy that joined my team pretty quickly who drove my line deep, so that was great. And that's where the bulk of the money. I'm averaging around 5,000 a month right now. The ticket is for me is that 15,000 by June, which is right around the corner. And it's just a matter of 2 FLQAs. And I've been looking at those 2 FLQAs for a couple of years. And yet I have 60 some people on my third line. And I'm like, Kathy, stop working other stuff. Focus in on those people. And
Mm-hmm.
I just said, enough's enough. I'm done. I don't want to do it anymore. I don't even like it. I never really liked it. I'm decent at it, but I never really liked it. I was just trying to have a job, that would take me from broke to something.
Yeah, I feel you there. I can relate to that. It's a great question whenever I get maybe pulled into new opportunities or if I'm just evaluating what I'm currently doing work wise. I always ask the question, if I won the lottery for $100 million today, how would my life change? What else would I be doing? Where would I be living? What kind of hobbies would I have? Who would I surround myself with? And I think if you ask yourself that in terms of selling real estate, if you won $100 million in the lottery tomorrow, would you still sell real estate? I would say, put it to John. If it's like if the percentage is so small, we might as well round it up to nobody. There'd be like nobody selling real estate,
Yeah,
like unless maybe it's a $4 million listing. But even then, you probably won it.
I
So
guess.
yeah, so that's good.
Yeah.
So 5,000 a month for those that don't know. Real quick, just tell us where you're at with total FLQAs and total FLAs, total org size.
My org size was 194, and then it dropped yesterday, one. I have 12 FLAs, and I just dropped one from 8 to 7 yesterday. So my focus, I watched that my.exp Realty website like a hawk. I'm trying to
Yeah.
see who can I help to lift them up so that I don't want to lose these people. So I want to see, are you worth helping? Because not everybody wants to be helped. Do you know what I mean? And I don't mean that insulting. I'm saying if you're just in this is just a hobby, go have your hobby. If this is something that you want to be leveled up, let me help you, because that's something I want to do. So that I'm 7 levels deep, 193, and 7 FLQA. So that's what I mean. I'm going to get that one who just dropped off. She just didn't have enough sales. She had a family scenario that kind of knocked it out. So I'll those are the ones that I want to give my referrals to. I'm still in my B&I organization where I get business. So I will just put that off with the ones that I feel I can level up, especially the 3 that I'm trying to make over there. I did just get my daughter to agree to become a recruiter. That's all she'll do. And she'll be a powerhouse at that. I don't know if you ever met her, AJ, but she just sold her business to a hedge fund and she's retired at 43. So
Wow.
I said, you need to do something, girl. Here, this is good.
Wow. Well, just out of my curiosity, was her business the dog park?
Yeah, she had the dog bars, 3 of them.
The
And
dog bars. Yeah.
a hedge fund came to her 2 years
Wow.
ago, and she's been working with them, trying to get that number up, and she finally settled on a
Wow.
number she was happy with.
That's exciting. Very cool. Yeah,
Very
I
cool.
never met her, but I used to board my dogs there when I was
Oh,
living in
yeah.
Lake Norman, and we would go there sometimes with friends. That's cool. So gosh, so you mentioned getting to this 15K number this summer. Do you need to build your organization bigger, or do you just need to get those couple more FLQAs for that to happen?
I want to go wide. I really want to be, my goal is 20 wide, is my target. I have been working with somebody in Portugal that I believe is going to, and she is a major player with 15 agents in her organization. She's, I met her on LinkedIn. I just made a comment on a LinkedIn post that I was looking for realtors in Portugal because I got my vision board right here. And I have all the countries that I want to be a part of because I like to travel. And so I just made this casual post. I don't even know if it was hers or not. And I said, I'm looking for realtors in Portugal. She responded. It ended up that she was coming to the States. She's an American from Texas, and she has a luxury firm there in Portugal with 17 agents.
Wow.
15 agents, I think. Get my numbers mixed up. But anyway, her average price point's 1.7. She's already met with the head of Portugal. She's met with the head of Europe. Again, with Portugal, she got her financials, John, because I had John on with her as a 3-way as well. And I did that because I was explaining how he built his firm up from a single agent to a firm to a mortgage company. And then he just kept leveling up and then stopped. And I said, what's your goal? I said, are you in production anymore? And she said, no, I'm out of production. She goes, but it's a grind running this business. And I said, I know a guy, and you'd probably love to talk to him. John agreed, gets on the phone. He built me up like crazy, which was great because I've been really worried because she's in Portugal that she's just going to pick one of these power players over in Europe instead of going with me. But I flew down to Florida to meet her at her roadshow that she was bringing to the United States. And I brought her 24 leads of people interested in Americans interested in property in Portugal. She thought I rocked the world that I did that. And it cost me nothing but points and $250 in my room because I had points for my hotel. I just went down for the night and it's been great. And now her next meeting is with the head of Portugal again, and she's bringing her team to see that the team likes it. So that could change everything. It will change everything. I'm just going to see it.
That's amazing. Now that's like next level work in this thing. Portugal, I would love to go too. So if you make plans at some point to go there, I hear it's great.
Oh, it's
Lisbon,
great.
yeah. I know, and I know there's tax advantages too moving there as an American. I don't know all the details, but
yeah, it's
I
a
know there's some
golden
tax
visa,
advantages.
and that's why so many people were interested because of their golden visa.
We could do a whole other training on that.
Yeah.
So you have your vision board in front of you. You're just always full of energy. It seems like you have this positive mindset. What are some strategies around goal setting, having a vision board, like how you structure yours that you can share with the group? Because one thing that I'd love everyone to do, and if you guys want to share it with me after you do it, is establish your goals and create a vision board. Because I agree with you that it's crucial to your success. How do you structure your goal setting and your vision board?
Well, I've been doing vision boards since the 90s. I
Wow,
I
that's
like them
cool.
in a circle.
A
I like them
circle.
in a circle. I like
Okay.
balance because, and I do them in pies. So Jesus is in the center for me. And then you've got family, wealth, health, community, fun, and finances. You chop them up into pie-shaped pieces because I want it to feel balanced because I want a balanced life, right? And
Yeah.
and every year I have on there, the fun stuff. I've got family pictures on there because I want to be involved with my family. Of course, I've got church pictures. A home I'd really like to have on the water. But a big section is all about travel because travel is fun and new places. And for me, that theme of making real estate fun again is a big thing for me because I just like having fun. But
Yeah.
I write out my goals in those categories, usually in December, and then I host a vision board event, always at the LePage Johnson office, since I've been with them. And I invite non-EXP agents, EXP agents, I invite clients, because clients are good referral sources too. And different vendors that I'm with, I invite all those people. I supply the boards. I even get a bunch of pictures. I prep them how to go find pictures on, instead of magazines, takes too long, it's old school. Tell them to go into print out some of their own pictures from Facebook. Go in. I like words on mine. I have a lot of words. Like I have a word on this necklace and it says empowered. It's also on my license plate of my car. I want to be empowered and empower. That's a big deal for me. So I like words all over my thing and sayings. And so I really focus on that to bring that in. And another thing that I do with my organization, just as you did Game Changers, there's so much data out there that they feel overwhelmed. So my little group here, we are 190 some people. I created a Facebook page for them where I'm grabbing some of these pieces, putting them in there and tagging them because we're a smaller group. So they're tagged all the time. Like, the be able to have those videos from Cabo. That's a big deal. That Bill Pipes, is that his name? Bill Pipes? Yeah, he was
Yeah.
amazing. So I put that on there. I want the ones that want, who will go search it out. I tell them about these two events that are happening on Tuesdays and Thursdays to every week. For the ones that want to level up, here's a system in place. You're crazy not to participate in it. My people, shoot, I invite all kinds of people to the Tuesday one and follow up with them. So I'm on a mission. I'm going to make this friggin' thing happen.
I love it. I love that. That's a really cool concept. How it's in a circle. I like that Jesus in the middle, then all your goals around that and words. If you guys are looking to make something like this, really easy way to do it. I love to use Canva, and I'm like Kathy. I don't use the magazines anymore. I'll go to like Google Images. I'll go to Pinterest to find images of the things that I like, and I'll arrange those all on Canva. It's just drag and drop, extremely easy to use. And then what's cool about Canva now is you can actually print right from the website. Actually, right before this call, I printed a Game Changers logo poster that I'm going to put behind me. And it was like $13 for a nice poster, including shipping. So right from the website, you can print a nice big vision board and then take it to Staples and get it laminated if you want and put it all around. I like
Yeah.
to do mine 8.5 by 11 because if it's in like a briefcase, you can travel with it. You can put them all around your house. So that's how I do mine. And then on one side I do goals, the other side I do the vision board.
Oh, I love
I call
that.
it
Mine's
my vision
laminated
sheet.
too. I also have
Yeah,
maps. I've got the US and I've got the world and I got push pins. They're all up here too.
that's
And
cool.
I have
So,
thermometers for my goals, like as I'm hitting them for the money.
oh, nice. Yeah, I did that when I sold real estate. We always had a big thermometer in my office.
I got my
I pulled up my numbers here, Kathy, because I was curious. I was at 199
yeah.
agents at the end of January 2018. That month, I made $4,000. The next month, I made $5,000. So my income was very similar to yours at a similar sized organization. And then just 3 months later, I was up to $14,000 a month. So where you're trending and what your goals are is right in alignment with what my tracker shows. So
That's
so
awesome.
you're spot on. I'm rooting for you. Did you say June for 15K?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
That's the
It's
plan.
possible.
Mm.
Yeah, 15K is that magic number, and we talked about this before, me and John, where it's like you can live such an extraordinary lifestyle on 15K a month. I actually went back and looked at my notes when John was talking about, because I was thinking for me recently, because I love RVing and I'm going to do it again. So I'm like, what would it cost me to, like, if I went back in that lifestyle? And so I went back to John's notes when he was talking about it, and it was like, what John, like 12, 13,000 a month to
Yeah, I
travel full
vacationed. I
time.
was full time on the road for 14 months, and my average over those 14 months was 12,500.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's like this dream lifestyle where you can just travel full time. Heck, it'd be even cheaper to go overseas and do it, in some of these lower cost areas, like maybe the Philippines or Thailand. It'd be much cheaper. So that's it, guys. My organization, when I hit 14K, was the end of the month was 360 agents, which
Mm.
means when I made that 14K, my organization was only around 250. So I got
Hmm.
paid on about 250 agents and made 14K at that time. So yeah. So if you guys are like, hey, that 15K sounds good for me, I would be targeting 300 agents, 400 agents. And then it depends what level uh, they're on. If you're more spread out, it's going to be a little different. If they're all stacked levels 1 through 3, it's going to be different. And then it matters how many wide you're unlocked. So there are some variables. Darren, to track it, I just have a spreadsheet that I built out. So I track it every month, the first of every month. It's like Christmas. I go in there, I look at my eXp, and I just pull over the numbers. So I just manually track it. I track all levels. So levels 1 through 7, I track the total. I track net agents added. I track percentage change month over month. I track actual paid and projected paid. So I actually forward project my income. I track how many transactions close. I track the value that I got paid per transaction. I track the average of all levels, income wise. So those are the numbers I track. So
Did you do that through an AI Excel spreadsheet?
it's just a Google sheet that I made back in 2017. So just
Mm.
super simple and nothing fancy. And it's kind of my brain just dumped on a spreadsheet, and it works for me. But now I have like 20 tabs all the way from my additional passive income streams to my net worths being tracked on there, my living expenses. I have agents that have joined me on there. I have the value of a prospect. I have a 21040 tracker on there. A lot of cool stuff. I'll see if I can't get one that doesn't have all my personal information in it, and then just share it in the group later.
That'd be
I'll
great.
remove some. Yeah, I'll remove some numbers. All right, Kathy. So talk a little bit maybe about, today you've been with the company 5.5 years. The company's a different company than it was 5.5 years ago. The
Yep.
market's a different market. A lot of agents have heard about eXp now, so recruiting's different. What would you say would be the best approach right now for people looking to attract in this environment?
One of the questions that's helped me is I ask, what's made you not choose eXp? Now, going from John's perspective, that's asking a negative question, but I'm like, I don't get it. Like, I just reached out to somebody yesterday I've been talking to a lot, and I said, man, I just came back from this trip. We've never gotten together. We keep saying we will, but we never get together. And I did a video text to them, and I said, guys, I know that this can change your life. And I said, let's just make this happen. And all they did was do a little heart on there. And I'm like, I did it to both the husband and the wife, because one of the things that Brent was talking about is get the spouse involved. And I thought, yeah, I'm getting you both on board here. I'm done just talking to one. And he responded. And that was I thought a video text would be a stronger than, because, sometimes people don't answer your calls. They're busy and stuff. I thought if I just got that out there. So I'm going to call that rascal today. But I do think, I do think that how I got the owners of KW that were partial owners was I just said, what's made you not look at eXp? Because and it's a baffled tone in my voice. Like, I don't get it. And that's part of it. And then they'll say something and it'll be so off center. And like with Nancy, the gal from KW, I just said, what if you misunderstood? Would you be willing to sit down and really take a look at it? And they ended up taking a look at it, and they had no intention of coming, none. Their whole agenda on their meeting was to find out why they were losing all these people to eXp. Now they come to the events now, and they're so on fire that one of them is actually going to completely step out of production so that their focus can be on that. She said, I'm burnt out. I don't want to do it anymore. I just want this. Because now the more you're at events where you're with people who are making good money in agent attraction, and you're getting all these tidbits of how you can help your own people to level them up, they get it. I don't need to keep doing this. Let me teach somebody else who's not burnt out yet. Let me help them level up. And that's where you can kind of give back to. That's where I'm at. Let me help you level up.
Yeah. I like what you said about just really challenging their thinking. Like, what didn't you like about eXp? Like, I don't get it, and your tonality is kind of like a baffled tonality, which is perfect. And going back to John's comment about how the cadence isn't, like, the number of the cadence isn't as important as having consistent cadence. I think that message rings true for this too. What you say when they say, no, I'm not interested in eXp, isn't as important as saying something after they say they're not interested. I think most attractors are just like frozen, like a deer in headlights when the person says, I'm not interested. They're like, okay, sounds good. But you do a good job. It sounds like pushing back and just saying, well, let's talk about it. You're opening the dialogue. Like, why didn't you join? Mm-hmm. And John put in a great script in the chat I saw as well. Just out of curiosity, what was it that you didn't like about eXp for you?
Yeah.
Just like probing deeper. And I think the reason why people don't do a little bit of pushback to challenge their thinking is because maybe lack of confidence a little bit. And I think confidence is built by role playing. So practicing role playing with people, have a script in front of you when you're making these calls, having these conversations. So, because I think you can go ahead, Kathy.
Someone said, I think it was John, there's only like 5 basic scripts of a responding. So I don't have those down. I want to get those down, especially now that this is my focus. But the biggest thing, like you just said, is confidence. I believe in eXp at my core, at my absolute core. And probably because I've gone to these events, I've met the different people, I've seen them at all different levels. You see some people growing like crazy, but also you see a lot of agents who don't have the energy to stay in this business. I think they said a quote, 30% of all agents will be gone in 6 months. Great. I was here in 2006, 7, and 8 when they were just bailing like crazy too. And I got it. But for me, it was non-negotiable. I didn't have plan B. It was this or nothing. I'm going to figure the friggin' thing out because, you got to survive. And I'm thinking I didn't want to go work at some friggin' store. Why? I had a better shot at this than I did of working for somebody else doing something I didn't even know what I would do.
Right. Talk a little bit about how you're using the Tuesday Mastermind, because I see you're always engaging with the Tuesday Mastermind. I saw this past month you're like, hey, where's the calendar at? Like, you're ready to promote it, so it's got to be effective. I really don't know what you're doing with it, so I'm curious as well. But it is promoting that a strategy of yours? Is it working for you? Talk a little bit about that.
I'm in a flux on that. I strategize. I tell everybody about it. I tell my own people about it. I said, you got to be here just to level up. And I was just talking, I see Jeff's on here right yesterday. I said, Jeff, put these dates in your calendars. I work everything around this stuff because this is so duplicatable that this is the core that I want. So every Tuesday at noon, every Thursday, that's blocked out for anybody else that may be family, but that it would depend. Anyway, I'm focused on it. As far as the production on Tuesdays, I think there's gold there. This last Tuesday was incredible. And I invite people that I have put in that Go High Level site that we did through Lars and you guys. So I put about 470 agents in there that I was connected with on Facebook. So it's taken me a while to get it fine-tuned where we were sending it out effectively in a system of how to create that funnel. And that's only been going on for about a month. But now I'm seeing who's like filling out the form to do it. And I just had my VA set it up to give me a list of who are the ones they're actually checking in, even though it's creating a funnel. I want to make those my calls. And John and I were talking about that on the mastermind thing, that those are the ones to kind of focus in on because they're kind of raising their hand. So those would be some of the ones that I call. So I'm in process, I should say, but no one's come from that. But I also want my own peer that's already in eXp to level up their game. If they're still in the grind, then let's make you better because this stuff makes your business better, which makes you survive and makes you also qualify. So it's win-win for us both.
I love that. Yeah, it's great for retention. Right now, just as good as for retention than even prospecting. We're in the
Yes.
name of the game right now for every real estate company in a market and environment like we're in is retaining their agents as well. Yes. And that Tuesday call is great for it. So that's really awesome that you're promoting that to your current team. Everyone should be doing that. Let's help people sell more real estate.
Yes.
Let's get them involved. People will leave if they don't feel like they're a part of something. And as simple as it is, that call helps to build a culture inside of Game Changers Nation, inside the company, so that it creates a little more stickiness.
Yeah.
If you guys have any questions for Kathy, go ahead and post them in. I saw Troy posted. He gets a lot of, I've been contacted by 100 agents about this. All eXp does is recruit. How would you handle this one? I personally don't get that one very often, but I could see how some prospects would respond that way if they're in a market where eXp is very prevalent. I would do like a pattern interrupt. So I would go in more strong and say, hey, you being contacted by 100 eXp agents just tells me what you already know is you're a top producer. You're crushing real estate. And what we're doing is attracting the biggest producers in the industry right now. In fact, you just see that the top Remax team in Vancouver, Canada, just joined. Yeah. We actually have in almost every state, we have one of the top 3 teams in that state at eXp. So that kind of, it kind of does a little like pattern interrupt, shakes them a little bit. And at the same time, affirms like, hey, we're attracting the biggest teams in the industry. That's why I'm reaching out to you. Then go with John's script just above on my cell phone here. So I don't have quick access to these chats, but then I would go back up to John's question and say, just out of curiosity, what was it that you didn't like about eXp for you? I learned scripts in the Mike Ferry organization called Expired Listings. So a script is simply a structure of a conversation. And when someone gives you an objection, like you put out there, you got to come right back with the objection handler. Sometimes you handle the objection. Sometimes you just skip over it. That one I would just kind of address, not necessarily handle it, and then go right into the next question. So you could have the objection handlers that John posted on scripts in front of you so that you can bounce to them as the conversation needs it. So I would more or less just address it real quick and then skip right into the question. Like if you aren't familiar with scripts, I would just Google like Mike Ferry's YouTube channel or go to YouTube, Mike Ferry's channel, and just hear the way he talks about scripts, expired listing scripts, for sale by owner scripts. It's a really effective way to communicate. That's what you're learning, is how to be a good communicator. And you always just want to repeat and affirm, address it, and then go on to your next question. So hopefully that's helpful. More than anything, I would say where people get stuck on that one is by them saying that to you, again, it creates this deer in the headlights type of reaction in you. But if you just know that you're going to get that a lot, write out the best response you could possibly write out, send it over to John, send it over to me, post it in Game Changers Nation to get feedback. Have that on your wall, practice it, role play it, and you're going to be sitting there like a little kid on Christmas, like, I can't wait for them to say that to me, because you're going to have the best response. You're going to stump them. They're going to like just be like, man, no one ever responded that way. Out of those 100 agents, no one ever said that to me. And then you're going to do that nice pattern interrupt, and then you're going to open up a real solid dialogue using John's question that he posted in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
That's the beautiful thing about sales, whether it's selling real estate or this, is there are just a handful of objections that you're always going to get. Get them on a piece of paper, practice them, role play them, and get excited when they ask them. Whereas right now, the majority of people are scared when they get an objection because they don't know what they're going to say, because they don't have them written down. They haven't practiced them. So they have no confidence around the dialogue. Flip that. Get excited about it.
Mm-hmm.
So that is my thoughts on that one. Cool. Good question, Troy. Yeah, everyone copy and paste John's top 5 objections that he deals with. All right, cool. Oh, check out Phil M. Jones, exactly what to say. Good tip. I've been seeing a lot about that guy. I think he's got a book out. Is that right, Aaron? I know he does courses or has like a certified coaching program to get certified.
So he's got a book and an audio book. I would just get the audio book and just listen to it as much as you can, and then it becomes like second nature. I mean, his conversation trees are amazing, and it's really natural. It's like, it just goes along with what you're talking about with scripting. Like Mike Ferry scripts is what, I mean, I'm a Tom Ferry coaching client, so I'm familiar with all those. And then, but the Phil M. Jones stuff is like kind of next level with that, and you can just add it into like your regular conversation. It's really natural. I'm actually going to a 3-day training in Dallas in June. So like 24 hours of like Phil Jones, and he's going to be there. It's fantastic. Really, really good. So I would recommend that everybody just get that book, get the audio book. It's like $16 or something, and just like go for it, because it's fantastic. He has like an open house script, and I used it. It's really simple, and I just like coming back from a training, like I was like, okay, I got an open house for like my listing, and I literally had one person come through the open house. I used the Phil Jones script, and I just closed them on an 800K house.
Nice.
So like literally one person came that day, and then I picked up a bunch of other potential clients like using that script on Saturday.
That's maximizing opportunity. Is that it right there, John?
Yeah, I got the book right on my desk.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic, man.
I like anytime I write any kind of copy or anything for video, I just go through it again and just like make sure that I'm saying like some of the top things in here. It just makes so much sense.
Some of it is like it's really good. It's really basic. Like the one that's like really good is like if somebody says something that's just off base, or like they don't know what they're talking about or completely wrong, you're just like, why is that? You just like throw it back on them, and then they'll talk themselves. It's amazing, man.
Yeah, that is good.
Well, it's like, how many times do we like ask somebody like in between 3-way call exposures, okay, I'm going to follow up and I'm going to send you this, make sure you take a look at that, and then we'll get on the phone with, so-and-so. And a good follow-up right here that he has is, I'm guessing you haven't gotten around to whatever that thing was that you agreed that they were going to do, and just assuming that they haven't, which like totally lets their guard down, and then going into like what they should have learned from it again.
Totally. The other one that's fantastic is that I've been using this on like everybody, and it just like kind of turns the conversation around, is this might not be for you.
This might not be for you. Yeah.
This might not be for you, but like, this is so good. That one's just excellent.
Yeah, that's good. That's a great way to start your prospecting conversation.
He actually did at the Tom Ferry, the last Tom Ferry event I went there. Phil Jones was the keynote speaker, and he basically did like a 10-minute talk, and then just like cold called on the audience, and like just showed how terrible we are at our scripts, and like how it just repels people. And then it was like not making a point of like that we all suck. He's like, these are like some of the top agents in the industry, and you guys are terrible at conversations. And then like flipped it into his technique. Like everybody should get this book. It'll help with everything that you do.
Okay.
It's $10. It's $10 on paperback, $5 on Kindle.
It's
I'll be
small
picking
too. I
that
mean, you
up.
could read it in like an hour.
Yeah, I would get the audiobook and just put it in your car, because then like you just hear that, like you hear you just hear it over and over again, and it just becomes part of you.
What
Thanks
camera?
for the tip, man.
Your camera setup looks nice, Aaron.
Oh, me? I have my wife is a photographer. I have like some type of Canon DSLR, and then I got multiple lights. I got it all mounted. I'll take a picture and post it next time. Yeah. I do. I actually do a lot of
studio tour.
Yeah, I do. One of the big parts of my business is home buyer classes. So I've been doing them on Zoom for like the past 3 years. So I got a pretty good Zoom setup.
Yeah, you got to tell me what kind of line you're using, because I got the Canon too, but I can't connect it to my laptop as an external camera because I can't find a cord that makes that work.
Oh yeah, I'll talk.
Link.
So I got the R. I got the Canon R. So that's like the kind of downline. Like that, I don't know all the camera stuff. It was like $1,000. Like the camera was like 1,000. I have the
Looks awesome.
yeah. I'll figure out the setup. You need to have like a converter, and then the other thing is the trick is you got to be careful with your Zoom, because sometimes Zoom will update and then they won't support your software.
Nice.
Or support your hardware for a while until they update it. But I'll figure out the setup and I'll let you know.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Cool, guys. Well, we're gonna wrap this up. Kathy, I want to bounce it back to you. As always, I like to end these interviews with a piece of advice or encouragement that you would give to someone just getting started on their attraction journey.
I think coming to this type of environment, coming to the events, you got to get it in your core. And when you're around people, like even if you can just come to this is powerful, but you got to get it in your core. And when you have it in your core that this can work, and you know that you've done other accomplishments in your life, any one of us have done something that surprised them, you got through, you base it on that. Shoot, this is nothing. I'm really surprised at myself that I haven't gotten farther. So that really annoys me. I'm going to make it happen.
I love it. High standards. Let's go. Cool. As always, Kathy, thank you so much. Make sure you text me when you hit your 15K number. I want to celebrate that with you and get you back on again so we can all celebrate it and hear what you did to get there.
All right. Thanks.
Cool.
See you guys.
Awesome. We'll see you guys.